Sweet, we fixed the actual like phone orientation, or they just add that with an update recently. So, I'm going to get this in the little camera jig, and then, well, try and get the thing to zoom in a bit if we can. Little, little messed up, but it's got the spirit. So, sorry about being late with this. I couldn't find the actual copy of Need for Speed Pro Street I was going to play tonight. I think it's in the old like almost dead Xbox. I gotta fire up to then like copy over some info from my old game save, and possibly my like copy of the game is in there. We'll have to see. But I'm just happy we're able to do a sideways orientation for this now and get things going a little better. Is that good enough for everyone? Also, I gotta remember to always speak up because, like, I know it's not been great in the past. Gonna move you guys over to get a little less of an angle on this. There you go. Okay. Control turned off for a moment. So, let's do a few more races with this. Long story short, my game save corrupted, and I've just been playing this off stream, or just not on the channel really, and just been enjoying myself with like reminiscing about how a bunch of this stuff is actually fun, or how you can't get those wheels anymore, and just stuff like that. Oh no, where's the remote? Okay. And I've got the laptop booted up over here after it updated and all that fun stuff. So if you guys want to chat in, well, live stream chat, I can actually respond to you guys and all that fun stuff. So let's do it with this slow car. It's personally one of my favorite like racing games overall. Gran Turismo 2 is really close to it though. Okay. From the laptop, it looks like everything's formatted pretty well for you guys, so yeah. It's going better than the last stream, essentially. I'm gonna have to check the actual difficulty settings because this seems a little too easy so far. Oh boy. Great. I'm a little out of practice. Been working on too many real cars to kind of get the idea how to drive the fictional ones. I wasn't trying to cut it that much, but it just kind of felt that way. I think I'm gonna need to mess with the sway bar settings a bit. It just doesn't feel very concise. Ooh. Get some commercial on here. So the gist of this is what we see for the green zones or the green circles is the actual force of the contact area. We have room for traction. The yellow to blue line that we see shows the vector or which direction each tire is having force pulled upon it, and the yellow is just showing like how much of the force is being exerted onto the tire, basically for how much we're using the grip that's physically available. Hopefully I explained that clear. I've understood it for a long time. It just, I don't use it too often for tuning in a car for telemetry, but it's kind of neat to see what we've got going on in terms of which direction each tire is having force applied to it. In this case, I'm going to be looking at the traction for mostly the rear tires to see what I can do to get rid of kind of a snap oversteer that's happening. That's trying to take a more of a tight turn with this car. So we've clearly got enough power, it's just a matter of getting this car to be a bit better at handling. Okay, we're going to move on to the next vector, or I should say like telemetry tab. This one I've used a lot in the past. It just kind of shows you how your suspension's reacting. So I've got a little bit of a lead. I'm going to go a bit harder into this turn coming up as I want to see how the suspension's reacting. Okay, that's good. And kind of as I suspected, we need to add the stiffer sway bar to the front. It will increase what feels like, how else can I say it? I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. Depending on how quick one side of the... Hold on a second. I'm having a hard time talking over myself to the TV screen here. There we go. So, essentially, from the left side of the car to the right side of the car, how quick the suspension reacts from one side to the other is going to determine how much it snaps, well, snap oversteers, essentially. I shouldn't have been looking at the laptop right now. Okay. Don't text and drive. That is the motto of the stream, I should say. Okay. There we are. So, with this, we should see the left side load more than the right, and depending on how the load transferred off of the left side to the right side, how quick that happens is what determines how quick this car is going to try and snap oversteer. I think I've covered it already. And how did you do that? Curses. So, if we increase the stiffness of the rear sway bar, it generally makes it to where, if like in a front wheel drive car, you can get a lot more oversteer in a sense with this game I've felt before. In applied to real cars, like what you can do with, say, swapping in the stiffer rear beam of a Ford Aspire onto a Festiva, it will act like a stiffer sway bar, but in proven testing, well, I mean, just on track, the cars actually are slower because the suspension geometry can't actually bend and create more of a traction. I'm sorry I'm having a bad time with explaining this tonight. I probably should have been a little less tired and decided to start streaming, but hopefully you guys are having a good time watching the shenanigans. And sorry, I gotta pause this for a moment. I have something in my eye that is very painful. That was indeed an eyelash. Ow. Okay, back to it. So, I've been playing this game about since it came out, since I ended up getting one of the early copies of this from my grandma for Christmas, and ended up losing that one a long time ago to a friend of mine that moved away. That I kind of had issues with the game because the disc had scratches, but I knew I'd find another copy, and 6 copies of Forza 4 later, I finally found one where the disc worked. It's been a journey. And in all that time, I've never really used this little like DPS thing or like overall body acceleration to tune anything because it just doesn't give me a lot of data to really figure out what's going on. So it just shows me that I've got forces occurring against me through the turn. About about the only thing I've used it for is seeing how many Gs I can actually pull through a turn, and that's really it. This one I've used a lot. It gives me a good sense of what I've got going on for where I'm, how do I say, it sometimes wasting the like traction I do have with tires in terms of, say I've got a little bit more wear happening from the rear tires because it's a rear wheel drive car. Understandable. But a good thing I've used with this is overall what the tire pressure is, as I want it to stay around 32 psi ideally. So going through turns and overall just driving the car, the tires will heat up. So that tells me I could bump down probably half a psi in the front tires overall, and probably 1 pound of like tire pressure in the rear. As like a track with a shorter, I say, a track with less straightaways like this and more turns will actually heat the tires up much quicker than what I've experienced on this track. Hopefully, I'm not boring you guys with jumbo of it. It's a good thing to cover. And look at that. I've talked you through a race that's been kind of boring. We'll ignore the damage. We have insurance. That's strange. Give me a sec. So on the laptop, it looks like it's buffering, but as I'm looking at the phone every time it's supposedly buffering, everything's looking like pretty good on the phone for specs. I should get my external like battery thing on the phone though before it dies. Oh, okay, that one's charged. We're lucky. This thing is actually charged. There you go. Alright. So that's like a big thing with this game is there's a lot of variety that Forza's lost as it's like, oh hey, here's a new supercar. And this supercar. Where's the boring Nissan Leaf that frankly sucks to race? It's quite painful. Actually, do I have any affinity with this company? Okay, I guess we do. We'll leave the extra PI around in case we need to figure out if there needs to be more traction or more power, or even just some cooler wheels to make it the coolest Nissan Leaf ever. Still a bold move for Nissan to make a car like that. I mean, it makes my Pacer look like it was actually a beautiful thing. It is neat though. Like I know the car was styled after some kind of aquatic fish that Nissan was like, it's the most like naturally like aerodynamic thing. I, if I if I found to be lying about that, then I'm gonna like have to question what paper I read a long time ago that was claiming that. And I've got something else in my eye. Give me a moment. This is pain again. There we go. So I actually got back from watching the movie Twisters tonight. Um, I actually do recommend it, and that's a little off topic of playing Forza, but yeah, Twisters movie doesn't. It's got actually good moments, kind of like how there were somber moments in between, like everything being chaotic in the first Twisters movie, and they try to replicate that in the newer one. But frankly, there aren't quite as many memorable moments like the first movie had. Like Rabbit is Wise, like Follow the Rabbit, or just some other stuff that was like a really good moment from the first Twister movie. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Stream's good. It's just my laptop's a piece of doo doo. It literally just bricked itself and then rebooted it immediately. Wonderful. It's the seed. A Kia that hasn't blown up yet. It's weird. Felt like there was almost a torque curve drop off around 70. Hello. Whoop. Oh no, the paint of this wonderful thing. So, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like there's torque that shows up all at once and then it just vanishes for a moment. I'm gonna have to see if there's any like transmission upgrade I can do for this and play around with that because it definitely doesn't feel right. Oh no, a double pass. Now, if only this race were 50 laps, then I might have an advantage of not having to pit at all, but I know in game this has better range than the real ones because there was some local dude in the Festivus that had one that would get like 40 miles of range. You can't really use that for anything. I I've got another stuff. How dare you, sir? So handling is alright with this. I might end up taking the weight reduction back off of the car and put it towards just getting more power because there's like a weird torque curve thing going on here. Whoa, okay, I just got pitted by somebody. Eat the cone. You might want to shield your eyes. This might get it a little rough. We're probably going to have to start like bumping cars around. It doesn't look any uglier. I wonder. Whee! You know, I was joking, but I think that may have been faster using an e-brake. Okay, we're gonna play around with that. With having upgraded brakes, I could try and check the benchmark and see if I can play around with getting a later braking zone with the advantage of what I've got for braking system. Can't tell if that's a body line or a dent. No. Goodbye, sir. Oh, fudge. It's okay, they have insurance. I'll get their number after this. You know, for this being an eco car, maybe they could attach a wind sail and be a little less slow. This is painful. Oh no. That car to the inside, the Kia Ceed, looks like it's going to make a pass. Okay. We're live. And live. I think. I gotta mess with the laptop after this race. Go away. Thank you. E-brake. Oh no, that was a bad move. Or not. Okay, I'll take it. Whee! Oh, that was just dreadful. They're right behind me, aren't they? Oh, getting to be. Come on. Okay, I gotta pull up telemetry. I need to see what's going on with the tires, because if I can at least not have to brake with this car, I can take the advantage of having a better handling car to make up the time difference of everything being faster than this, like, snail. So a good point with this is literally the outer edge of our tire is about 10 degrees or so hotter than the inside, which means I need to camber our tire more like this, and to then correct that to keep a good tire contact patch, I'll need to add caster, as that road it will roll our actual like camber back. I can use a diagram and show it to you guys in some other video, but it's science. And this is art. If I'm trying to get all like whimsical, I say that and I'm literally just being this poor leaf to death. Good Lord, go! Ah! Can this even hit 100? My Festiva is faster. Got a little bit of time. Keep going. Ah! Okay, I've got enough time with this. Gonna get the laptop to cooperate. Yep, laptop's just being a pine cone. We've got the laptop fixed, so I can actually see what's going on. Give me a moment. We still gotta get this thing. Sorry about the delay with this. I'm just trying to get this thing to cooperate, and it's being a pine cone. Literally having to click off the stream just to go back to the stream. There we go. It's fixed. Okay. Okay, why is her cat kind of bugged out now? Do this. Do that. Well, the laptop's acting kind of dumb again. I can't actually see the YouTube chat on the laptop. Brilliant. Okay, we can tune the setup. So I'm going to want to bump the tire pressure down 1 pound, half pound in the back. Final drive, we don't have any gear, so I'm thinking we're going to want to bump that up to a 308. We'll sacrifice some top end speed, but it'll hopefully make it less slow to accelerate. Okay, camber, we need to add at least, I would say, 1 degree of that. The rear probably 0.2. Front caster, I'm going to bump up to 5.3. I don't want to do any toe. And for sway bars, we're going to bump the rear up just a little bit with how it felt. Lower the suspension down too, because we had plenty of room for travel. And hey, our chat finally got unbricked on the laptop. Wonderful. Cool. Alright, now we're back to dampening. Felt pretty good. It didn't feel as unstable as a Fiat, so we'll leave that alone. Aero, don't have. Braking, I want to say I want to bump that 2 to the back. And then the differential, didn't really feel like I was wasting any tire, like, traction. So I think we're just going to rock with that for now. It's feeling better already. You dork, why are you going to the outside? Now, this is a good time to mention this. The very, like, built from the ground up Forza Motorsport game that has been touted as, like, kind of a flop, you want to look at how the front 2 AI and, well, first and second, they start to lead away after they're drafting each other. They still haven't fixed the AI after a decade. Well, yeah, roughly a decade or so. So yeah, just a noticeable gripe. Hello. The car definitely feels a lot more peppy. We'll say that, like I'm chucking it through corners a lot harder now. Still extremely slow though. I've been pinned through this whole turn. I was hoping they could push me and make me faster. Okay, we're definitely making up time through the corners, which is a good thing. The 3 laps, I don't know if I have enough. Oh, don't you dare. I know I can make up some good time through there if I cut it really tight. This is painful. Move, you slow car. Oh, you stupid seed, you keep getting in the way. It simply refuses to accelerate. I can just get caught up to him a bit sooner than this. I should be able to at least get second, and I think that'll give me the actual win for the overall, like, heat race. Getting close enough to draft, perhaps? Better technique. Just so slow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win just because of this. Okay, we can make up some time like that if I'm really dangerous. Punt. It looks like a Leaf that's been in Chicago for a day. I think we may end up having to do this race over again because of this car. I'm cutting enough of the track and it just will not move. Okay, we'll try braking early, rotate the car. I've been on the gas the whole time. Try and cut under him, maybe? Nope, just gets in the way. Well. Kind of works. Hail Mary. Are you kidding me? This thing frankly sucks. We do all that and look, we're still barely ahead of the rest of them that are catching up. This car is terrible. So help me if you get... Okay, thank goodness. He didn't cut me off trying to not lose his back. This is just insulting. This is literally just the fact that I'm not going to lose the race anymore at this point. Come on, please make it through the corner. We'll have to do this race over again with a car that doesn't suck so bad. Go ahead. Try and get in front of me before... Worst car I've drove in the game. Worst car of it. Like, I am quite not disappointed in myself with this, but like, that sucked. I'd rather drive a Mustang too. I'd rather drive a Prius. It just was terrible.
Championship Series test the best drivers in the fastest cars to tame the most legendary tracks in the world. Up next, your return to Barcelona's majestic Circuit de Catalunya.
Oh no, a straightaway. Its biggest, like, foe. Alright, let's try something else, and it looks like we've got someone trying to text me on the phone while streaming. Alright, let's see what it takes for this. Come on, get the menu back. So that, we'll take that down to that. Power. Well, it gets out of F class. Maybe that makes it less of a dog. Who knows? You know, the torque curve ain't fantastic, and that's coming from, like, the crossover of how RC stuff is. Usually, it's a lot more linear of a plane for where your torque curve hangs and or the horsepower will stay. That's a bold idea, putting arrow on a leaf that's already slow. Really, I just need it to be less slow, not necessarily handle any better. Good enough for that. Oh no. I think it's E is at 275 as a cutoff. But I don't know if we've got anything that will even come close to that, so we'll just leave the car at E class and probably just not use it for this. It's already disappointed me in one race beyond like wanting to use it for a while. Yeah, we'll take the Volvo out. Or not, I guess. Hey, we can take the Mighty Car Mods edition. Like, at this point, it's a really old reference. They had a street cred build of a this generation like Volkswagen Golf on Mighty Car Mods years ago, and I ended up making like one of my first paint schemes in the game using this car. It made me like 14 grand in terms of like the whole like how many people download your actual like game set or like paint scheme and stuff. It was cool. Like there's some Easter eggs on it, like how the passenger fender, yeah, it's got like yellow stain marks because like Martin tried peeing on the fender to see if that would make it rust more. Than they just tried like some weird like alcohol mixture stuff to make it where it would rust, and I think they ended up using like salt and water and just kind of scrubbing it around. It was a neat thing because yeah. And then like the whole like clear effect they tried to do because they literally poured some like clear over the hood. They had like rattle canned. It was cool references. I remember even having the tune on this where it was so low that if you took corners hard, you could see the rear bumper scraping the ground, throwing sparks. It was rad. Squeeze. Where's he going? Oh no, he's. Where am I going? Eee. Understeer. There we go. Left off oversteer saved me. I remember taking this to some actual B class lobbies, and it worked really good. But there was like a even back to this game, like there were meta cars where they would always work better than others, and this one always was kind of a little bit slower than anything else for B class. But I had been like put up against, but it would always handle really good. May have overdone that. So yeah, competent car that actually doesn't suck so bad. Races are easy. Nissan Leaf, worse than anything I've ever driven. Probably slower than some of the Tonka RCs I've built. And I'm not trying to exaggerate. That was quite like painful. Just hear the transmission whine is quite nice. Ah! Oh no. The slow grass. It's made of old Buicks, that's why it's so slow. And Leafs. I should have just led with the Leafs. That would have made more joke or sense as a pun. I was trying to avoid the slow grass there, but oh well. So if we hold on a sec, yeah, we could see the kind of this clear effect I tried to add to the hood, like what they had done. Trying to drift to front wheel drive. E-brake. Yes. No. I didn't try and drift that with an e-brake. Oh no! Okay, just for relevance sake, we're going to rewind. I have that turned on just for weird flukes like that. Because, yeah, same uncontrolled like drift right there. Car acted normal. Let's check out what the cylinder tree's got going on. So me doing this, outer edge tires should get pretty hot. I'm trying to exaggerate, but you can only barely see the actual, like, if you get the tires extremely hot, they'll go from yellow, or from green to yellow to red, and you'll see, like, varying, like, stages of how the, like, outer, middle, and inner part of the tire are basically heated up, as well as the actual, like, digital readout of the tire temperature. Let's see if we can do it here. Come on, I'm trying to show. There you go. See? So, going from that, let's see if we can show off some other telemetry we've got going on. A whole lot there. We've already covered that earlier, but I'm trying to find some fun stuff to show off with this. We'll drift to here. May have braked a little too soon for that. Oh yeah, I forgot that was back when they were sponsored by Just Car Insurance. Along with, I want to say they were sponsored by like a jean company at one point, like denim jeans of some kind. Like I can't remember the name of them. Like this is back when they had the TRD like laser car they built, which was just like a Ford Laser that they cut the roof off of or something. It's good memories with this, both like in the game and just watching and seeing my car mods back then. Whee! Yes, we're drifting. A front wheel drive. It's working. Some say it's this massive understeer. Shouldn't have taken that flat out. But we lived. Great. Just having an issue getting the car to rotate around there. Yes. We linked some drifts, fellas. VB. Yeah. I gotta say that felt kind of cool. We might end up updating the thumbnail afterward to just being a picture of the Golf instead of the RS200, which is kind of a story in itself. The RS200 I made, well, so I originally made that paint scheme over on Forza, or just Forza Motorsport 3, and found out you can port it to 4. And then from 4, the first Horizon game came out, so I ported it from 4 to Horizon. And that was like my favorite car in Horizons, so I just like rocked that car everywhere, and it was a blast. It it was made kind of as a reference of like Kami being the RC stuff I work on that's from the 80s, that's retro and all that. And with Ford making that Ford RS200 being an actual Group B rally car, it was like, what if it was a real thing that got sponsored? And then I just kind of threw the paint scheme on the RS200 and made it work with the body design or body shape and stuff of that car, and it turned out really rad. Like we might show it off after this like race. And across the line, yes. Oh no, ignore that. Don't look at that. That was an accident. It was an accident, I should say. Okay, let me get my laptop fixed again. That was a pretty fun race, I gotta say. I was looking forward to playing Pro Street tonight because, like, it's like that kind of a race, but more chaotic, like more chaotic. And I used to have like a Chevy Cobalt in that game that I would just thrash around, and it was awesome.
Now it's time for another attempt at racing your way through the demanding Sebring International Race.
Okay, it looks like the laptop's doing okay and the phone's doing all right. So once it gets closer to midnight, I'm probably gonna crash for the evening. Haven't had time to do a whole lot of my own stuff this weekend, so I'm probably just gonna clean up the house like I've been wanting to, and work on getting the rack actually cut and narrowed now that I've got the Crosley like room in the garage for working on the Crosley. Get the rack cut and narrowed on there, and let's change the car again. and get the rack cut and narrowed on the Crosley and get that actually mounted on the car, and then work on getting the radiator mounts done, and then actually pull the engine forward and then make the mounts for it, and then throw in all the fun like little stuff of welding and wiring and maybe fire the car up, maybe. It's tempting to take that out. I actually built that one years ago. Hmm. Yeah. That's. I mean, I got comments going now. I think about it. You guys have any preference with what you're seeing? You want to go with the Golf with the cool wheels, or the ugly Jeep that is just well, I think they're ugly. Go with the Lancia. We could go with the Fusion. That since it's a V6 one with all-wheel drive, the transmission is guaranteed to blow up before the engine does. Don't don't get me started on it. They suck. A friend of mine's got a real one, and it's not a bad car. I've just had to replace the transmission on it, and then the timing belt tensioners because it's like that EcoBoost 3 like V6, and the way they've got the water pump is internal or something or belt tensioner. I can't remember which of the two, and it's like internally regulated instead of externally like what you can get on the V6 Mustangs. So it's a nightmare. This, there's bad stuff with that one. We got the Beetle, but that gets us out of like C class. We gotta use. We'll use a Beetle, and that's a C. Okay, we can do a B class race. Let it rock. I almost bought a yellow one of these. Couldn't find one that wasn't rusty though, and I wanted to actually get like swap in a VR6 since I've got two friends that are local that have played around with them, and I wanted a VW that was fun, but haven't really gone to that because if I sell the Yaris after stuff with the Festiva gets handled, then I'm probably just gonna go find something that's within a decade or so. But that's stuff we'll cover in YouTube, like upload or videos I'll show later on. To the bug. This is quite fun knowing it's a bug and it's just like trouncing everything. Yes! Suck it, Winkle! It's a rotary, I can say that. A very slow rotary, I should add. Come on. Here we go. It's just pulling very nicely. This is very fun. Yes! This is a power slide. When's it gonna snap? There we go. Okay. Now, how's this gonna do on a straightaway? Oh, I just noticed it. There's a boost gauge just below the speedometer there. Neat. Come on. I think this may have already been VR6 swapped. It's been a while since I built this thing. Perhaps a bit overdone. Come on. There we go. I just remembered my dad actually had there was like a 2000 New Beetle like this. Yeah, now it's coming back to me. We played around like Dad was over here, and basically we were joking about making this look like a sporty version of what bug he had. Yeah, I remember that. 'Cause that's why it's painted white instead of that like that cyber green you buy these things in when they're stocked on Forza. Good memories. Let's see the suspension getting tortured. There it is. If it goes red, that's a bad sign. How fast are we going? We're going beyond Nissan Leaf speeds, I can at least say that much. I don't even think that car could have done over 90. Friction. This will be a good one to show. So if this pulls at all, I'm going to know if it's all-wheel drive or not when we built it. Yep, it's all-wheel drive. So if we were just front-wheel drive, just going in a straight line, the rear tires would be showing 0 for peak like traction or force they were exerting on the car. It's a weird thing I kind of noticed with Forza a while ago, but it makes sense. Basically, tires are literally trying to pull the car along. If it will front-wheel drive, it won't. Goodbye, cone. Goodbye, RX-7 that I know is back there. It's probably already eating coolant. I'm not a fan of him. I've had 2 friends that have had RX-8s, and I know that's an RX-7, but RX-8s with the, what is it, like the Genesis or Renesis engine? Like, absolute turds. This car is, like, honestly, it's pulling very nicely. I'm not really feeling any warranted understeer or bucking or anything weird with it. It just, if understeers, it's controllable. If it oversteers, you kind of get out of it. Granted, I just understeered twice there, but it was still stable. Okay, we're gonna drift this for fun. Whee! Oh no. Oh no. What you witnessed was a tank slap of sorts, as they say. Essentially, you have the car the suspension unsettled, and once you get it like corrected from one way to, it starts to try and snap over to the other side. I can try tuning that out with having a stiffer front and rear sway bar, perhaps. Let's see our suspension specs. Okay, I'm gonna wobble it around a bit and see how it reacts. Oh, okay. So yeah, we're gonna stiffen up the front sway bar probably and leave the rear alone with what I was saying. That should make it where we won't have a tank slap incident like that happen again. I could demonstrate with some Legos across from me, I guess, and show what a sway bar does, but you guys who are watching probably already know what it is.
Today he returned to Nuremberg, Germany, for a race on the renowned Nürburgring.
We could use the Beetle. We could. But I'm not that insane. I'm having a hard time deciding, fellas. we won't use the Beetle. Okay, we gotta use this for Fira? Wait, what class was it for Fira? God, okay. If anyone says anything, please tell me what it is called. I don't know how to pronounce that. So it's R2. I think we're going to an R3 race, so yeah, we'll go with that. It's just really sad. The car burned down during like the old BBC like Top Gear doing a actual lap around their like test track, and for whatever reason Mazda never made another one, or even like this could have been something to propel them into like crazy car manufacturing status, but they never did anything with it other than once it burned down they just stopped. It's just really sad because like it's an incredible car. Like even just the detail they made it where the mirrors literally come forward off of how the aprons of the front of the actual roof pillars are. It's literally at the height coming off of them for the mirror or rear view mirrors. If we let this like pan around a bit, it might go to it and we can show it. Yeah, see? So at the top of the windshield there, it isn't actually ducts or anything. That's actually the rear view mirrors. It's just kind of a wild design that they did with the car like all over. Like even the headlights, the way the taillights work, which we'll show, is amazing. Yeah. So like all those little squiggles in the back, they turn red. It's just cool. Like there's a lot more going on in the car than anything else I've seen in this category of a car, but it just didn't do anything after it burned down. It sucks. Like, why? Oh, so this is a rotary, I should mention. We're not here for a long time, just a good time with a rotary. And yes, rewind is turned on because I tried controlling this thing. Yee. Understeer. There we go. I'm gonna go to this side because that car's in the middle. Probably follow Pagani. Yeah, well, we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna be a lawnmower. No! Okay. Very twitchy, by the way. Ah! We saved it. I have rewind turned on, but this still has me sweating like it's Forza 1 without rewind doing these kind of races. Ooh. Could have been quicker. Oh no, average Volkswagen. It's already smoking. Okay. So down, outside, probably go middle? Middle. That. Ah, oh, fudge. I was trying to go out to the outside for that guy. Would you please? I know it's slow. Ah! Fine. You suck. Turn. Okay, there we go. And it's almost over, fellas. I don't know why I keep saying fellas tonight, but it's just feeling correct. There we go. No. Just a tap. Murder the cones. It's still spinning. And that was fun. Terrifying, but good fun. Alright, give me a sec. We gotta do a refresh on the laptop and see if anything's popped up. Okay, at this rate, the laptop's as slow as a Nissan Leaf. I'm not letting that go. That car sucked earlier.
Now it's back to the Georgia asphalt of the Road Atlanta course.
It's a smaller one. How many laps? 7? Maybe if we go maybe if we go with a A-class car or S-class, I'd feel more comfortable. But that was a good time using the fur up here. I'm gonna lose my mind trying to figure this one out. What was that? We could use the first car I had in the game. Or that. Hmm. I'm thinking about the DeLorean, but I do need to get more like affinity with different brands so I can actually get free part upgrades. So we'll find something. Yeah, it's not a pretty looking car. I don't know what I was trying to figure out with that. Hmm. Use that, go home, put some aftermarket wheels on, and maybe it'll be top of A class then. I don't think it's going to be those. That's not terrible, and it gets us up to top of A class. Okay, I pressed the wrong button.
Now it's back to the Georgia
Ah,
asphalt
not again.
of the Road Atlanta course.
42. We'll probably get this race done within that time frame, or before it's midnight, I should say. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I was at a pawn shop with a friend of mine and ended up like talking to someone there that was like, "Oh yeah, on Monday there'll be like one of the last gen of the Xbox 360s here for like $40." And to get there, and person that I talked to wasn't there, but it was actually my old bank teller from like a bank I had actually like moved out of completely, and it's like we did the whole like Spider-Man pointing fingers thing of like you. And yeah, apparently they left the bank because they were like, this place sucks as well. Like they realized. This is a good time. Like I actually got up with them and they were doing well in life. Other than they're like, yeah, you get weirdos and crackheads that are coming into the pawn shop trying to like pawn a pop can or something. You think I'm joking? This local area is terrible for drugs. Okay, where are we at? There we are. Probably break around here. Panic because of traffic. Now I feel like I'm in Chicago again because the people run you over. Ooh, brakes aren't good on this. This might be on stock suspension, dudes. Oof. That was rough. Is this front or rear wheel drive? Okay, do that. Cross up to him. Hello. For a moment, if you squint your eyes, you could say it's a Mitsubishi 3000 GT, or it's a Dodge Viper for the taillight design. But you don't want to tell them that. You get all the Viper owners ticked off and the 3000 owners with a big ego Okay, we finally got this under control. Kind of. It's trying to spin out. I guarantee this is rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. Yee. Not a stable car. Like, this is not great. There we go. I'm gonna be wrangling this one for a bit. Yee. It feels way too unstable. Like, I need to see if I can adjust the sway bars on this. This is not a good time. There we go. So yeah, what we're feeling right now is kind of the unstable, like, belly, like, slap or tank slap that they say, where one side of the suspension loads up, then breaks loose, and then transfers all of that energy into the other side really quick. Whee. Why? That was a straight line, and it tried to kill me. Okay, I can already tell you this. The suspension, like, the springs need to be stiffer just with how much I'm seeing the travel. That and, like, a more bump dampening, like, stiffer. You want it soft enough to where the suspension can actually create mechanical leverage or traction, but this is not a good feeling. Hold on a sec, I gotta fix the laptop. It was still buffering, can you imagine? Okay, finally got that fixed, and we're up to this. Yeesh. I don't think we ever covered it on the channel here. I actually had, it was a IS-250 all-wheel drive for a very brief amount of time. And that was because it had 200 and some thousand miles on it. It was a good car, it got me through winter. I sold the thing immediately after and just cleaned it up, did a detail because it never had all that 200,000 miles. But I had documentation showing that the engine had been rebuilt by Lexus because of a warranty issue with the actual piston rings. So I trusted it enough for that, but it felt tired. They'd use the card like traveling for business and all that. Yee. Why is this trying to freak out the whole time? Okay, can we go in a straight line without wobbling? Okay. Everything's okay. Laptop's just acting goofy again. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. I'm sweating a little bit. This is a little more nerve-wracking than driving the Mazda whatever, Fury, Guy Fieri. Uh, not, not reassuring with this. I think the tires are warmed up to where I'm getting a little more traction. With the gear. okay. To you, it may have looked like I just made a turn without any issue. It was trying to understeer into some like fiery pillows of doom. Oh my goodness. My Toyota Tacoma had better stability. That dumb Nissan Leaf from way earlier in the stream was more stable than this. This is just like raw. I'm going to go as fast as I can once I get like going in a straight direction. Oy. Ah. Cone. We're gonna need to host a funeral for that cone. I think it disappeared. Okay, that didn't feel so bad that time. Ah! Why? The pain. Okay, if I have suspension I can adjust, I am definitely adding more camber because even the rear tires are getting roasted by this. Yeah, 35, 34, so we can at least drop the tire pressure down. That might help us get a little more traction, but it won't make us feel more stable is part of the problem. There's a cone. Now it's definitely... No, no! Be tamed, you beast! Aw, oh, really? There we go. Turn! Oh, no. Well, it turned! Oh, no. No! Okay, no accident. Well, looks like we're driving the Lexus for a while more. Hey. Like, I've seen marshmallows have more of a firm, like, squish to them than the suspension on that car. That was not stable.
Today, it's back to the sun-baked desert of Arizona for an event at Sedona Raceway Park.
Okay, can we do any other kind of upgrades or check around and see what we've got on this car? Oh. Okay, we're gonna do that and then play around with maybe dropping the PI somehow. Okay, do that. Weight reduction might drop down. We might use that. I'm gonna see if there's any power we can take away from this. It looks like this car was like pre-upgraded from the game. Do that. Do we have any flywheel options? No. How about valves? Nope. And that. Oh. Okay, we'll do that. Are we looking for tires? Okay. Okay. Bumper stuff. I did not know this had options. This is going to be fun. We have the one that looks like it's kind of got a weird face going on. One with sharper lines. And then it just looks like it's making that whole like Instagram face. New. We'll go with this one. To the window, to the wall. I don't know why this turns that color and doesn't do anything else. We'll leave that stock. I'm not really a fan of most of the upgrades for that, so just do that. Okay, gonna play around with PI and hopefully get this to top of A just for the fun of it. That'll do. Then valves. Oi. Why do you tempt me so? Okay, I'll take that. Theoretically, we've added a lot more ways to make this not try and like spin us out into a ditch. So hopefully it'll work better. I forgot to take this like change the paint color of it because who wants a boring silver? I'd rather have a car that's brown than silver. You wanted it to look like a stone, or just like the mixture of all the colors together that just makes bland. Yes. Eee, okay, that was a weird pull, and I was looking at my laptop. Don't text and drive, fella, or like everyone, or laptop and drive. Excuse me, I'm just gonna be a Karen and shove through, and I don't know why we're having issues. Through the grass. Whee! This thing is kind of scary with how quick it goes. Yee, that was not stable though. That was two wheels. Okay, I just need to put another set of pants on with my existing pants and double. Like, I have to man up for this. And just like, do that. Let us the power. The Clarkson of power. Okay, I can't do that through here. It's just gonna understeer. Come on. Jeez, it's like all at once. I mean, it's quite enjoyable, but like, it's hard to control. There we go. No, it's gonna be a slow sand. And we'll catch him later. Hey, he is kind of quick. Let's see if we can draft. Goodbye. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Come on. What you see is just like rear-wheel drive shenanigans with a lot of power where it just kind of is chasing the whole thing around. If this were front-wheel drive, it'd be more stable, but it wouldn't be really able to turn at all. Or most front-wheel drives don't like to turn, I should say. At least with, what was this, like 400 horsepower it had or something? Wrong button. Okay, we kind of see what we've got for horsepower here. Turn. Oh no, it's understeer all the way. Go. Okay, almost 500 horsepower. I stand corrected. That's kind of terrifying. I'm used to playing with cars that have like 80 horsepower and thinking I can maybe pass the horse and buggy. Late braking was a bad idea. We are dead. I need to adjust the braking on this car. It's not quite what it needs to be. Nope. I should have paid attention to that, frankly, instead of the laptop trying to make sure it wasn't buffering again. There we go. Come on. Turn the other way. Thank you. Okay, out of the box. Hold on a second. Out of the box suspension and sway bars. Better, still not great. I can at least tell there's potential to be better. Like the suspension isn't as marshmallowy now, so that's helping. The sway bars, maybe if I just make the front stiffer, I'll think it's okay. It looks like the rear's sway bar is okay. I see it react like switching or reacting too quick, and we need to make bump dampening stiffer yet. That was me using the e-brake in a very bad time. No, we cooked it. We have cooked more than a baked potato. I need to see what my tires are actually at now that I think about it. Go, you silly thing. Yeah, kind of toasty. I think this is the last lap. Nope, I was going to drift this at the end, so that would have been a bad moment. But we'll drift it here. Yes, all red. I think that's a good thing in casino gambling. I'm not sure. Oh, jeez. I was a bit understeer. My leg is falling asleep. We're gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna deal with the tingles afterward. No, I'm dealing with it now. This is not pleasant. It feels like static. Come on. I'm not even trying to drift, it just keeps roasting them. So even the outer on that side is... Okay. I think we're going to add some camber in the back. The front doesn't need it too much, at least. Really terrifying car, but good. Okay, we're probably going to pull up our Ford RS 200 after we choose the car we got for leveling up, and then sign off for the night because it's around midnight and I'm still tired from other things that have been going on, like building deck, hanging out with other friends, going to movies, and all that life stuff. Do we go with the vacuum Dyson thing, or that green thing that I don't remember ever seeing, or a Lowe's Ferdinand? Pick number 3. I'm just going with the Mazda. That was that was frankly a tough pick, just because like the Mazda one looks cool, The Acura one looks cool. The Chevy one kind of just had an ugly paint scheme, and I didn't feel like painting anything tonight. Hopefully the audio is sounding better this time. I even cleaned out the little speakerphone, and I'm trying to shout more so you guys can hear me not sound like in the distance whispering. Alright, we're going to home. Little cars. Whee! Okay, where's the Ford? Oops. There, if we do that, and then we just kind of see that. Feels nice. Okay. I feel like that's a nice way to end off the stream. Seeing the Top Gear test track in a nice field, sunny day, even though it's Bryn, so this is probably the one day out of the two they get per year that's nice. And then the cool RS200. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream, and good night. Now I gotta fumble around with this, so this is gonna be a little less elegant. Sorry about that. There we go. That.